Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to Morning Talks with Ro on a Thursday on Thanksgiving. I've been meaning to drop in and at least give like an update as to what was going on. Like I'm not going to be able to do the talk today. I'm going to do it whenever. And I was going to attempt to do it yesterday. But uh, life is happening, right? And I had, to come from Vegas, I had some responsibilities after that. And then I had to pack for this. And now I'm in Alabama with my family. I'm really happy about that. And now I'm in this space with you. So I didn't know what I wanted to tackle per se. I knew it had something to do around the ego, which can be a pretty big subject to take on, but I decided that I'm going to do it anyway. But it kind of evolved and started to expand into something else. And now I realize that I would like to do a series in this holiday season called Healing Around the Holidays. Welcome to the conversation, everybody. It is Morning Talks with Ro. Hey, Trey, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, thank you. Good morning, Kimberly Nettles. Good morning, William, Tanya, Parrish, Tiffany, Jay Graves, Amanda. What up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. Do you have your morning drink? Woo! I wish I had some music. It almost makes me want to pull out my computer and turn on some music to kind of give us a little bit of vibe and put even more great vibes in the air. Hey, Robert. Good morning. Hey, y'all. You know what? I don't even need to be online to be on my iTunes. Okay. So, welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. I didn't know what I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I know I've had a lot of things that I've been swirling with in my own personal world as it pertains to my emotional state of being and spirituality. And one of those major things that's been popping up, it's a good word, honey. Woo, you ready? You ready for the word? Ego. Y'all want to tackle ego today as it pertains to healing around the holidays? You want to tackle it? I mean, what better way? It's Thanksgiving. This is the time of year where a lot of us get to see people we don't normally see, right? We get to spend time with friends and family that we may see only once a year, right? So it could be good to kind of walk away with some tools this morning for when you see that family member that you've been having some issues with or holding that grudge with, or haven't let that thing go, or maybe there's a way to cut through to them that you haven't practiced or tried yet that can open up the relationship and finally start it on its road to healing. Who wants to do something like that? Good morning, everybody. Let's see what you're saying. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, James. Hey, Eddie. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Hi, June. Okay, ego, easing God out. Bless up. I like the way you said that. I don't know how many people we're going to keep in this conversation this morning, but it's for who it's for, right? Bless up. Oh, who's crying? Who's put tears in here? Who put tears in here? I mean, today can be... Wow, I don't know if you got, I set the tone for myself as far as like a prayer before I came in here, because I said, this is it could be a tough one. A lot of people have heavy emotions around this time of year, and they always circle back if you don't break the pattern or scramble the pattern with something different. Some of us come in and it's wonderful emotions, and that's beautiful, but some of us come back to this time of year and it's not so wonderful, right? It doesn't feel so good. You remember all the things that happened around this time of year that didn't make you feel so good, or you remember you got to come around that family member or that friend that there's not healing there. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there's a couple tools that we can discuss today, because this is going to be a 4-part series until we get to Christmas, right? Maybe there's a couple tools that you can pick up today and then next week that's going to help with the healing process of your relationships. So if there's anything in particular, good morning, everybody. Hey, thank you so much, Taz. If there's anything in particular that you guys would like to talk about as it pertains to healing, is there anybody in here who needs to heal around this time of the year and you want some... I don't know what I want to say advice, but maybe just to stretch in your perspective about what's possible in that area, I am making myself available for that. Because it's not necessarily the happiest time for everybody, but I think we can get to a happier space by the time we leave this conversation. How about that? So let me see what you guys are saying before I start running off at the mouth. Hello? Okay. For those of you who just joined us, welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. Hopefully you have your morning drink. We are talking about the ego as it pertains to healing relationships, period. But healing around the holidays. That's this series that I just came up with this morning. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. I try to leave myself available for what needs to come up and out. And I'm like, ooh, what am I talking about today? And today, ego. Although ego's been swirling with me for the week because I've been dealing with my own stuff. And I had to check my ego recently. I had to check my ego, in relating to someone that I care about. And you know how I knew I had to check my ego? Because I check my feeling space. So if I say something or if I respond to something and I still don't feel good about it, I know that I haven't landed in the right space yet. Usually the ego is running the show for me at that point. And because I'm on a path of really doing better and showing up as a greater version of myself, my ego gets, my higher self always kicks in as like, check that. Nope, you're still leading with that. You're still leading with the ego. It's still ruining that moment. It's still causing a dissension in that moment. It's still causing you guys not to understand each other. It's still causing you not to connect. It's still not making way for the heart to lead. Because, I'm not saying that the mental, space is not good for us. But sometimes the logic edges out the heart. And then that's where the feeling good comes from. That's where real love, right, can be expressed. So sometimes we got to check the ego. And a lot of the times we're trying to protect ourselves with it. Totally understandable. It's very useful. Like some people are like, you don't want to be ego. Ego is very useful. It's there for a reason. It's there to pseudo protect us. That's what we think we need, And, in order for you not to be walked all over, maybe sometimes the ego kicks in to help you. In order for us to not get hurt, because who wants to be hurt, right? We're so afraid of being hurt. That was my issue, so afraid of being hurt that the ego kicks in and this other energy leads, but it's not the energy that's going to heal. It's not the energy that really opens up real connection, real understanding. And sometimes we have to I don't like to use those words, not have to, you don't have to do anything, but it can be good to realize the strength in vulnerability. And that might be very uncomfortable to exercise in when you first do it. But it goes back to that parable that I just shared with you guys, that I just shared with you guys recently about that being in the storm. And, the big, strong oak tree, say there's a hurricane blowing through, right? And you got the big, strong oak tree and you got the blades of grass that are very pliable. They almost come across as meek, right? Kind of weak even. You could step on a blade of grass, right? But guess what? If a storm blows through, what's left between the oak tree and the blade of grass? The oak tree that stands really strong, that could be the ego sometimes. Not to say it's not useful, not to say it can't protect, but it can stand so strong that when that strong wind comes through, if it's not flexible enough, it's going to snap and break. But what does the blade of grass do? It yields. The blade of grass lays down even because the wind's blowing over it so hard it can't even stand up. But once the wind is over, the grass is resilient. It pops back up. Quite possibly that's a way that we can approach our relationships. Maybe we don't always have to be the strong oak tree. Even in those times that you're afraid that you're going to be hurt. My friend came to visit me the other day, and he didn't even know I was grappling with this inside of myself, dealing with my ego self, right? He was talking about something completely different, but he was like, the level head always prevails. And I was like, ugh. Yeah. The level head always prevails. If we could just pause, if we could just slow down and not react in those spaces when we think we need to just protect ourselves and we're hurt and we're just breathe. Sometimes the breath gives us more perspective because we didn't just pounce on something. Or sometimes if you could just Deal with the uncomfortable feeling of not responding in the moment, not feeling like you have to react, not feeling like you got to check them even though you feel they're out of pocket or something's out of line. It's in violation. Even if you just pause then and you say, I'm not going to respond to this situation until I neutralize. How powerful could that be? You're still going to deal with it, right? You're still going to face it. But the ego doesn't get to just drive the conversation or kill a relationship in the midst of having the issue. What if we practice that? I'm not saying that this is easy. But what if we practiced that? Just pause, just slow down, just don't say anything, just breathe instead of speaking. Would that breath give you a chance to switch your approach or not approach it in that moment at all? Okay, that just wanted to come up and out before I even read your comments. Hey, welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. Let me see what you guys are saying before I continue. Good morning, Taz. Good morning, Eddie. Traumatic events during Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yes, break free, break the curse. Shamika Roberts says, you are so right. I enter with Thanksgiving, but others might not be as happy as I am, and I must understand that. Bless up, baby. Brian, I love you back. Carlos Faison, what's up, my friend? Happy Thanksgiving. Loving from Detroit. Thank you. Love from Alabama. Taz says, I'm one of those people that this time of year is difficult for me because of loss and grief. Okay, we're going to deal with that. Taz says, I welcome any suggestions to not be in such a funk, dark place during such a difficult time for me. You got it coming up. Lynn Solar, welcome, honey. James says, happy Thanksgiving. It's my lady says, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, honey. Rhonda Seymour says, it is okay to just take this time for yourself and enjoy. And so what do you want on this holiday? Even if it means you don't want to go to a family event. That's right. Absolutely honor yourself. If that's what you want to do. Trust your innermost guidance system. A lot of the times we look outside of ourselves for the answer, right? But if we just pay attention to our feeling space, we kind of know what we need to do in that moment. We kind of are already aware. We just don't give it enough credit. We think that we don't have the answers. We think we're not smart enough maybe to have the answer sitting right there. Read The Alchemist, great book, talks about that. You got it right there. Just pay attention to your feeling space. Beverly says, happy Thanksgiving. It's 7 a.m. Got to sleep. What's the convo about? You've probably been here for a while because I've been running off at the mouth now. It is about healing around the holidays and sometimes dealing with something as layered as the ego and how that could be part of the issue of why you're dealing with what you're dealing with. And also facing things in such a way that if it's time to heal, if it's time to quiet the ego or check your ego in order to open up a connection again, the holidays could be a great time to do it, right? We don't get to see these family members and or friends so often, and quite possibly it's time to let go. So if you're here, maybe it's time for a breakthrough, right? This conversation is for who it's for, and it's not for who it's not for. We're going to trust that. Hey, Shalake, happy Thanksgiving, babe. Taz says, funny you're talking about ego. I've pulled back from speaking to and reaching out to a person that means a lot to me because it seems to be so one-sided where I'm initiating more than the other. Any suggestions to get beyond this? Ooh, y'all really want to talk about it? Okay. Who got their morning drink? Ooh! Okay, we're going to deep dive right now, y'all. We're going to see if we can do this together. All right, let's ask ourselves a question. Who wants to experience unconditional love that's in this chat right now? Who wants to experience that? Raise your hand if it's you. Who wants to experience unconditional love? Now, let's talk about what unconditional love is. Unconditional love doesn't mean you don't have issues with, somebody's behavior, right? But I think it means that you're always still going to be there. Like that's the kind of love that most of us, not all of us, but most of us have received from a parent or a family member. They just kind of, you got your issues, but I'm still here. That is like unconditional love. And if you want to take it one step further, if you really operate in a whole other level of self-mastery, right? Then unconditional love is allowing a person and or a thing to show up without judging it. Just allowing it to be what it is. That is an expression of love, a state of allowance, right? Unconditional love, allowing you to show up or something to show up without judging it, without judgment. Now that's some other level self-mastery stuff you just got to keep practicing. But just a more practical form of unconditional love could be that you just allow this person to show up and be who they are, but you're still there for them. Maybe you got to do it at a distance, but you're not going to remove your love from them, your supportive space for them. I like to call it keeping a porch light on. You know, somebody might be out in the darkness. They may be out there, but you still got a porch light on, and when they're ready to come home, you're there. A lot of us want that experience, but we don't extend it to someone else. Would you say that that's true? Like, we want to experience unconditional love, especially in our intimate and romantic spaces, but we don't, because we're afraid of being hurt, because we don't even realize that we operate from our parameters. We don't allow them to mess up, in our humble opinion, you know, and still be there for them. So one of the ways that I think we can remedy what Taz just talked about, which was, you know, reaching out to a person, you distanced yourself from them, is to reevaluate why you've distanced yourself. And then can you ask yourself the question, can I make it okay that they are who they are, right where they are, with their stuff, and still be there for them? And can I just extend that in some creative way, even if I'm not ready to open up the relationship again on a certain level, because maybe they do need to do some healing. Maybe they do need to do some, you know, self-evaluation, some self-introspection. And maybe they do need to grow in order for you guys to be able to connect and have a healthy relationship. But can you still keep your love space available to them? And by doing that, would that shift the dynamic of your connection together? Because now you're going to think from a different space, and you may quiet the ego, right? We've been talking about the ego. You may check the ego enough to reach out again. You may check the ego enough to say, you know what? Let me just tell them I'm still here. Maybe I'm not ready. I got to do some growing to accommodate who you are. But I'm still here. What would happen if we did that with some of the relationships? Maybe I got to do the growing. Maybe you got to do the growing to accommodate who they are, even though you feel wrong, but you still want to extend unconditional love because that's what you like to experience for yourself. So maybe you reach out and just say, hey, I can stand to do still some more growing. And I'm still here for you. And I'd still like to have a relationship with you. But this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm aware of that probably needs to heal between us. And I don't know how to get there. See, that's operating from vulnerability. We don't have all the answers. The ego ain't driving it. This is the heart speaking. I don't know how to get there. I do feel like this happened. I don't feel like it was cool, but I still want to leave space for you. What would happen? Woo, come on, y'all. We're talking about healing around the holidays. It's beautiful. Thank you, Taz, for that. LaShonda Anderson says, Daddy in hospice, Mom passed away last year. No mama. Okay, no mama gumbo. Friends invited me to dinner, and Saints will beat the Falcons. I'm going to be grateful, bless up, and dance through the day despite the storms. Beautiful. So let's talk about that real quick, about some of us who, that was mentioned as well, that this time of year brings up old emotions. Brings up old feelings. Reminds you of a certain time that it hurt so bad or something like that. I like to call this scrambling the pattern. This is something I've learned to call it. I love it. I think it's appropriate. You got to scramble it. Do the opposite of what you would normally do. If you would sulk, do something that brings you complete joy. If you would allow yourself to feel down and out, do something that would scramble the pattern completely. Does that make sense? So, for example, you may do something kind of different. Like you may go do some indoor skydiving. Like totally scramble your pattern so that whatever emotion that was there, that was anchored, is because now you've allowed it to anchor itself at this time. And we can shift that, right? So if you've allowed that to anchor itself around this time, do something completely opposite of it. Do something that would just make you feel a way that you wouldn't normally feel around this time. So give yourself a different stimuli that's going to produce another emotion out of you. And do this consistently around this time of year until you scramble the pattern and bring in a new experience. Does that make sense? Do something completely different. So if you would normally siphon yourself off and not engage, go ahead, get dressed. Go in the mirror while you're getting ready. Speak about everything you're grateful for, because gratitude turns what we have into enough. You're looking at the glass half full. You don't have time to focus on what you don't have, right? So go in the mirror while you're getting ready and doing something that you don't normally do to get ready to engage other people around this time where you would normally be a hermit. Go in there, get grateful about everything. I don't care. Grasp at straws. Thank you for the bed I woke up in. Thank you for the fact that, we're having this morning talk this morning that's changing my mind about what's possible on this holiday. Thank you for giving me new tools this morning, giving me a few breakthroughs, stretching me in my perspective this morning, that I might be able to salvage a relationship that I thought was done for good. Thank you for the people that are in this chat right now supporting me because they're sharing their story and they're being open enough to share how they're not healed in some spaces. And so that's adding to the conversation and helping me to stretch in my perspective yet again about what's possible for the rest of the relationships in my life. Thank you that I got something else to do. Thank you that I'm about to go and ride go-karts on Thanksgiving. Thank you that I'm about to go and do line dancing today and engage other people that I've never met. Thank you for giving me some different ideas and tools to help myself break out of this funk and break this pattern for good. You hear family coming in? My family's coming in. Okay, you guys, scramble the pattern. Do the opposite. Do something that generates another feeling from within. You can do this by making a new choice. We don't have to wait for anyone or anything outside of ourselves to change it for us. We get to do that by making a new choice. Okay, what else are you guys saying? Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Love you. Thank you. Thank you, Cassandra. Hey, Jay. Oh, my God, Coach, you are speaking directly to me today. This is exactly how I'm feeling. Bless up. Stephanie Wong says, MMC album here. Love you. Happy Turkey Day. Thank you, Stephanie. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to Ricky D. Smith. Happy Thanksgiving to Ebony. Hey, Cuzzo. Gloria says, it's amazing what I needed to hear today. Thank you for being obedient to the Spirit and speaking to my heart. Bless up, honey. Bless up. Love the outfit. Thank you, Damien. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hey, Lynn. Nalaja, good morning, baby. Happy Thanksgiving. A lot of us need to hear this at this time of year. Thank you, Ro. Bless up, Everett. I'm so grateful that you're getting value from it. Sai, happy Thanksgiving. Lorenzo, happy Thanksgiving, Frat. Taz says, yes, Coach, bring it. I need it, want it. Bless up. Happy Thanksgiving to Michelle. Hey, Beverly, Lynn. Okay, Jack Boy. Hey, baby. I want unconditional love. Bless up. I ain't been reading y'all comments. Hello. You're dealing with selfishness. You'll never get past it. Okay. I don't like the never, but I feel what you were talking about at that time. That's me, Coach. Yet there are times it hurts me still. I'm there for people. They mean a lot to me. Lobe says 3 things that will help keep your ego in check is to stay focused on remaining family-oriented, goal-oriented, and staying spiritually driven. Bless up. Thank you, Lobe, for that insight. Robert says, fear is our greatest enemy to growth. Wow. And fear is your greatest catalyst to growth. Face it. Right? And then keep building a support system around yourself, whether it's people like me, Morning Talks with Roy is here to support you. Other people who are on the path to a greater version of themselves. Put yourself around those situations. Make new choices, guys, that generate different feelings for yourself. We get to do that. We get to generate feelings. We don't have to wait for something or someone outside of ourselves to help us to make the new choice. We got to make it, and then the feeling can come from within, right? So fear can also be a catalyst. Just don't let it make you become a hermit. Just don't let it make you shrink into a corner. If anything, let you come out swinging out the corner. You feel me? If anything, let you come out smiling. If anything, let you come out crying. Feel. It's okay to feel. Some of us have been repressing our emotions so much that first you got to do the crying. You got to do the necessary grieving to move into the next space. Honor the spaces that you need to be in order to genuinely move into a better feeling space for yourself. If you haven't done the real crying you need to do, maybe you need to do some real crying. You're going to be okay. I have cried until I can't cry no more sometimes. when I need to do real healing. Because I don't know where else to go but to just deal with the pain. Because I don't run from it. It's hard. It is so hard. There's times I'm like, oh my God, this is so painful. And I just cry, I sob. But then I cry so much that I cry until I can't cry no more. And I really do feel that tears are God's healing salve. That thing that created all of us, that entity, that beautiful, loving, abundant space and spirit that created us, made tears for a reason. They lubricate the soul, man. Hey, Vita, happy Thanksgiving. Shalay says, woo, that touched me. Bless up. Truth, Kawana says. Shamika, my said he doesn't believe in unconditional love. Oh, your husband said unconditional love. Well, that's something you practice. But guess what? Isn't that a beautiful way to think about unconditional love? To allow a person or a thing to show up without judgment. And or, let's go even more practical because that's some self-mastery stuff, right? To allow a person or a thing to show up and just allow it to be what it is. Even if you got an issue with it, to still keep a space available for you to be there for them. It exists. It's something we have to practice. It exists. It's something we have to express to someone else even when they don't express it to us. But guess what? If you do that, what then would God open up to you? What then would the universe open up to you? If you give it regardless. What kind of quality soul and spirit do you get to become? And what kind of quality life do you then get to start experiencing if you express it? It's a very vulnerable space to be in sometimes, but it creates such a beautiful feeling, soul and spirit. But we got to practice it. Sometimes it does not come naturally because everything in the world would tell you to cut stuff off. You know, sometimes we tell ourselves to cut stuff off because we don't want to be hurt. Understandable. But that's the ego running the show. And there's a way to protect ourselves within still extending unconditional love. There's a way to, this is such a layered conversation. But there is a way for us to still express strength and vulnerability, you know, while we're giving unconditional love. But a lot of us want it, but we're not extending it to other people, and we don't know why we're not getting it. It's like, you may have to give it first. You may have to kind of get uncomfortable giving it first in order to experience it. But think about the love that you get sometimes from a parent when they don't want anything from you but just your love, just for your well-being, just your well-being. Can we extend that to other people? Ooh. Okay. Lynn Solar says, yes, ma'am, I started doing this a few years ago. It works well. Bless up. Morton, hey, Power. Letting go and believing in love again is the answer, but it's hard. Yes, it is. It can be difficult, but we do what's hard. It's life. That's the continuous adventure, the game of life and how to play it. You get more beautiful the more you keep opening yourself up to love even after you've been hurt. You get even more beautiful from within. And then you get to encounter and become aware of other beautiful souls that have done the same thing. Come on, life gets more layered and interesting and can get even more beautiful when we learn to open up even after we've been hurt. Okay. Hey, Rico, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Hey, Amanda, this makes so much sense. Bless up. All of our ancestors live inside of us. Be grateful. You are a part of them, and lost all makes sense. I am grateful for all my ancestors who brought me here from Africa to the slave boats. Thank you, Robert. Delmar, good day. Nashua, hey, babe. Amen. Happy Thanksgiving. Love you. I'm thankful to have you in my life. I love you too. James Tiller, be humble in relationships. Hear them out. Understand what they need, not just you. Bless up, James. Come on, bring the word. Be motivated to change and grow. Be balanced between giving and receiving. Love unconditionally. Be engaged in communication. Come on, James, with the word this morning. I love it. All right, Corey. Hey, I know I'm in Alabama, Corey. Happy Thanksgiving. Love this. Shanika, hey, babe. Happy Gobble Gobble Day, Coach. Love you more than you know. Love you back. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Shanika, DeMarie, LaShonda. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, Teresa. I love you too. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Delmar. Amen. I'm thankful for God. I'm alive and thankful for God. I know my own strength and I need God to heal my heart. Yes. Surrender. There's beauty in surrender, Lawrence. Happy Thanksgiving. Leon says, I log on in this live video and the first thing that pops up, something tells me I've needed to see this. Absolutely. This video is for who it's for and it's not for who it's not for. I trust that. I claim that before I even came on. This is amazing. Crying happens daily sometimes. Bless up, D. Marie. Let those tears keep soothing your soul and then keep doing the work. Keep looking at why the tears are there. And maybe in what way is the ego running the show and we got to check it in order for the heart to lead. Because sometimes we're so busy protecting the heart that the ego is shutting down opportunity for it to actually heal. And sometimes that's going to take a surrender of the ego in order for that to happen. And that might feel very uncomfortable and very foreign. It's like, ooh, this is uncomfortable and foreign for me to do, but it may be very necessary for you to actually facilitate real healing in your life. That's for anybody who needs that. And I needed to do that. I had to break down and check my ego a few days ago. And I was like, nope, I still don't feel good. Because I check my feeling space in order to know if I'm on track or not. And if I still feel like there's some dissension or I'm feeling like, ugh, or anxious or angst, I know I still haven't done the work. When I feel like, yep, I might look like a bit of a simp. People use that word nowadays, weak. It's not really weak. It was actually a very strong place for me to operate from, but I needed to soften in order to get there. I needed to let the heart lead in order to get there. You know, my masculine energy wants to come out and protect, you know, totally normal. A lot of us women deal with that, men too, of course. But you know what I'm saying? Protect. And then I was like, I gotta, you know? And then when I felt like I had broken myself down, but I felt better about how I was handling that person and how I was handling myself in the moment, then I knew I was on point. But that was after I had to check my ego to get there. And I kept doing things that was getting me there, but I wasn't quite there. I had to keep breaking it down till I got to the quick of it. And then it was like, there it is. Now I'm okay. Still got healing to do. Still feel a little hurt that I went through what I went through, but it's okay. I grew as a human being because of it. I grew in probably a place I needed to grow in order to experience better connections and relationships like I'd like to have in my life. Okay. Let's see. Happy Thanksgiving. Roz. Hey, Roz. Erica and I are stopping at the Waffle. Do you want something? No. Thank you. Your energy and your message is talking to my spirit right now. Bless up, Nalaja. Thank you, Roz, for checking on me. Yes, big sis. She wants Taz, back up off my offer. Never thought that tears is the sound of God's healing process. That's just so beautiful, isn't it? Tears are God's healing salve. They're there for a reason. What a beautiful release it is. We think that sometimes it's weakness in tears. Actually, it's healing in tears. And some of us have been so avoiding it. Some of us have been so avoiding being broken down. Some of us, that we need to just do that. You need to cry until you can't cry no more. And then you got to say, now, how can I grow from here? Where's the gain? What can I gain from what I just experienced? What can I gain from my ego shutting, as I think Robert said earlier, forgive me if I got it wrong, easing God out? How do I let unconditional love back into this space? How do I make it okay that I don't have to feel so oak tree-ish right now, so strong? You know, maybe your strength is in yielding, like the blade of grass in the storm. And sometimes some of us yield too much. You know, it depends on where you are in your developmental space in life. Some of us need to be a bit more of a stronger oak tree in the moment because you've been walked all over for too long. You've been a verbal or emotional punching bag for something. You know, depends on where you are in your space. Sometimes power is in yielding, and sometimes power is in actually standing up to something. But that doesn't mean you gotta with it. Sometimes standing up in something, if you can be in a neutralized space while you do it, you still speak to it and say, that's not okay. And I'm going to remove myself from this situation until we can find a better way to communicate. Or I'm going to remove myself from this situation until I feel like I've done enough growing to accommodate how you operate, because I can't do that right now. And maybe just by you saying that, it's going to make them think about how they operate, because you didn't say it in such a way that's pummeling them in a situation so they could actually get the idea that, oh, well, dang, they got to go grow to accommodate me? Dang. Like, what? Right? There's a way to say things sometimes that gets somebody to become aware of their behavior patterns. But because sometimes we attack it, because we're in a space of defensiveness, they can't hear it, we can't get to the quick of it, and we still in this dissension. But maybe if we just say, okay, they're so out of pocket right now, but I'm not gonna respond right now because a level head prevails. Let's just roll with that belief for a second. If a level head prevails, let me just breathe right now. And if I can just go get into a space of just neutralizing, making it okay that they responded the way they responded. Get the 4 agreements, you guys. If you haven't heard of the book, check it out. The 4 agreements. 2 agreements in that I love. All of the agreements are amazing. But 2 agreements that I love is pertaining to healing relationships around the holidays. Don't take it personally and don't make assumptions. How many of us deal with so much pain because we either take something personally that probably has nothing to do with us because people come from their layers of stuff. And you assume how somebody's feeling, or you're assuming how somebody's handling something and it's causing a lot of dissension, and it may not even be real. What if you've made it all up in your head? So what if you just do what you need to do to neutralize first and then respond? What would happen? You might break through to someone way better than you anticipated just because you approach it a different way. So it doesn't mean you're being weak by not responding in the moment. Doesn't mean you're being weak by not pouncing on something when you think, they needed to have that. Maybe just so that you can keep more peace about it, you could express, more love in the situation. Maybe try something different. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? We're picking up tools this morning. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, Shirley. You just helped me realize that I have to give people the opportunity to grow with me. And that sometimes I hold back out of fear of what the other person's response might be. But the beauty is that, they just might surprise you. And in that, I can even surprise myself to really apply my growth. That's from Nalaja. Thank you, babe, for sharing that. Happy Thanksgiving, Rodney Washington. Samara Muhammad says, the greatest lesson I learned was the difference between being alone and lonely. Broken hearts do not mean broken spirits. Come on now, speak on it, Samara. Look at all this good stuff coming out today. The healing around the holidays, you guys. When are you coming to San Antonio? I'm not sure. Tarif says, hey, happy Thanksgiving to you. Going out of town to welcome my sister Radia and her new baby. Bless up to the bundle of joy. So need to meet you. Bless up, Shamika. And so we will then. William Thompson says, happy Thanksgiving, Ro. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Welcome everybody else to the conversation. This is Morning Talks with Ro. Thank you, Marquita. Happy Thanksgiving, sweetheart. Irina says, happy Thanksgiving. Hi, Irina. Happy Thanksgiving. Rodney Washington, a lot of people are ignorant. They believe they own lies. I'm not sure what you mean. Shanika says, speak. I made it to the end of the comments. Oh! Hey, LaTanya, happy Thanksgiving. Raya, hi. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, you guys. Healing around the holidays. Sometimes I do not know how something is going to come out, how something needs to be approached, or even if there's a need to be approached. I just want to leave myself available to be used. I hope that you guys got major value from today's talk. Is there anything you want to share or ask of me before I go down and engage myself in all the noise that I hear in the house? Okay. Shanika says, y'all are on here speaking an entire word this morning. I'm telling you, honey, it's happening. Irina says, haven't seen you in ages, but you are as fire as you have been much more now. Thank you, Irina. Bless up. Bless up, Trey. Love you back, Irina. Thank you for sending all the love. All right, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm getting ready to go and spend time with my family. I'm excited about that. I'm so glad that I decided to create the space for that. For those of you who came on late, if you are experiencing a certain pattern of behavior and or emotion that you don't like, around this time, I highly recommend that you do something to scramble that pattern. Go in the opposite direction, per se, of what you would normally do. So if you're used to staying home and sulking, if you're used to staying home and feeling low and dejected and siphoning yourself off, being a hermit, do the opposite. Go find, this is just suggestions, something that I think could be wild and fun and different and spontaneous and creative. If you've got what do they call those indoor skydiving places and they got some spots available, go do it. Go bowling, go roller skating, go ice skating, go and go to that party that you got invited to that you decided to reject the invitation. Do the opposite. Put yourself together, And then I highly recommend as well, as Coach Ro, when you're in this mirror, pulling yourself together, speak only on the things that you're grateful for. It's Thanksgiving. It's a great opportunity to do that. But beyond that, you know how I am about, gratitude being more, making things, what is it? Gratitude turns what we have into enough, right? You're focusing on the glass half full. Great quote. You're focusing on the glass half full instead of anything empty, right? Be grateful while you're putting yourself together. It's a higher vibration to operate in. It can start to shift your focus and perspective on what you do have, what is working for you in your life, and keep putting yourself together. Turn on some amazing music. What would create a feeling good space around you? Turn on some good videos on YouTube. Change, make different choices that can generate different emotions that you would like to experience, and then go and do something that completely scrambles the pattern. Do the opposite of the direction that makes you feel low vibrational energy. Go in another direction. Choose to do something different, and do this consistently so that you can start to shift how you feel and operate on this day and around this time of year. You feel me? This can change it for good. But you got to do it. You got to, as I say at my school, Personal Power University, be bacon about it. When a pig becomes bacon, it makes the ultimate sacrifice. There is no turning back from being bacon once it becomes bacon. It has to lay down its life to become bacon. If you commit to your goals, commit to whatever you need to do, like a pig becomes bacon, there's no turning back from being it. You do what you need to do until you see the results. How would life shift for you? So be bacon about doing something different around this time of year. Be bacon about doing the opposite of what puts you in the other feeling space that you're used to. Be bacon about it. And watch life shift. Watch what you attract differently. But don't think it's going to happen overnight. You got to do the work. You got to keep practicing. But that's part of it. And it's going to keep shaping you and helping to mold you into the next greatest version of yourself. This is a process. Keep practicing. Keep doing it. And doing it, and doing it again. And if you want to come back to this thread, if you take some of the suggestions that have been made today and share your experience, further inspire the rest of us. Yeah? Bless up, baby! Happy Thanksgiving. Let me see if anybody said anything to me before I get out of here. Because y'all been talking today and I love it. Lynn says, I love everything about this video. Happy holidays to you, babe. Thank you for this. Was needed. Bless up, Shamika. Donald Ray, lot going on in the background. Church, probably. Thaddeus, happy Thanksgiving. You fed us more than enough today. Coach, be blessed and sending love. Bless up, Taz. Thank you for the feedback. Tell me how you keep power and not to pick up negativity. How do you release it if you did? Irina, I am going to tackle that then. I will attempt to tackle that. Come visit me next week. Hopefully I'll be on point, coming on Monday for Morning Talks with Ro. And we can stretch in this dialogue. I think I'm going to go ahead and let this land today. We talked some good stuff about the ego, man. But definitely just choosing to engage things that are of a higher vibration. So what can you choose to do? Who can you choose to be around? What can you choose to pay attention to that would generate more positive, loving, or whatever higher vibrational emotions you'd like to experience? What are those emotions? Then choose to be around people and things that would help to generate that. That's the general advice I would give in answer to your question, Irina. But we can dive deeper with that in another Morning Talks with Ro. Okay. Thank you for your message today. You're welcome, Taz. Shirley, thank you. You enjoy your family too. Michael Satin, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Wishing you and yours a sweet day. Your positive spirit is contagious. Bless up. I got a shirt at my website that says my awesome is contagious. I got to start promoting my stuff more. I hesitate to do it, to be honest with you, because I'm barely at home. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need help getting the product out. But I do have a t-shirt on my website that says my awesome is contagious. So if you guys feel like your awesome is contagious and you would like for your awesome to be contagious, and by wearing the message, it would generate more of an awesome feeling to be contagious, pick it up. Let's see. Forgiveness, gratitude, renew, love conquers all. Bless up. Thank you for that beautiful message. Thank you, Rael, for the feedback about the message. Therese says, amen. Stay strong. Continue to uplift others, everyone. You agree, love back. Enjoying your loved ones. Happy Thanksgiving. Shanika says, and Tawanda says, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Bless up, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Changing the patterns and engaging your family and making new choices that generate the feelings that you would like to experience. Sending love your way. Bye.